Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. That's right, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of A Win is a Win.
Powered by Riverside FM.
And we are going to waste no time. But first, before we get into everything that's good in the world of sports, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share this podcast. And don't forget to tell someone to tell somebody else to join A Win is a Win. And hey, listen, thank you guys so much for running the numbers up. We can definitely see an increase. That just means we're growing, and I greatly appreciate that. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that like button. Now, I know that's a bit of a commitment, but hey, guess what? It won't even cost you a thing. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that notification bell so that you get the necessary notifications when a new episode drops. Well, the Olympics have officially kicked off, and the US wasted no time gathering up some hardware. So let's jump into this right now. Simone Biles has brought another, okay, excuse me, I'm going to say that, another gold medal home. That's right. But in the midst of all of that good that's happened, there seems to be a tad bit of drama underneath the surface, or at least some people are trying to make it out that way. But let's get into this right here. So Simone Biles and Team USA Gymnastics took home the gold, but they didn't forget their ex-teammate Michaela Skinner's comment about the current team. Now, for context, this is what she said. She said, besides Simone, I feel like the talent and depth just isn't like it was or what it used to be. Just notice, obviously, a lot of girls don't work as hard. The girls just don't look like they have the work ethic. To which Simone Biles said in her Twitter after they won, lack of talent, lazy equals Olympic champions. So was that a clapback? Absolutely it was. And you know it was a clapback. I don't care what people are saying, but it was rightfully so because there isn't any lazy talent on this team, young lady. And I'm sorry, but we just took home the gold. And myself, multiple ones at that. Lots of drama surrounding that, you know, little banter back and forth. But nonetheless, the girls got on the floor, the girls got on the balance beams, and they took that hardware home. Shout out to the U.S. Olympic women's gymnastic teams. Something exciting, though, that took place this year in the Olympics is breaking. Yes, what am I talking about? Break dancing is an official Olympic sport. That's right. Now, breaking, otherwise known as breakdancing, it made its debut at the Paris Olympics this year. Now, for those who don't know or are unaware or have been living somewhere else, breaking is an urban dance style that originated in the Bronx around the 1970s. Now, it's characterized as acrobatic movements and stylistic footwork. That's the definition, but we call it culture. We call it breaking to the beat. That's what breakdancing is. Cardboard boxes, British Nikes, or Adidas with the fat laces, Adidas track suits, anything that you can, just compare to the likeness of that era is what breakdancing is. Now, breaking appeared in the 2018 Youth Olympic Games in Buenos Aires and now has been added to this year's Olympics as a new sport. Now, here's how it works. 16 men and 16 women, referred to as B-boys and B-girls, compete in a round robin before the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the medal battles. Now, once a breaker finishes, their opponent starts their routine. Each battle is a one-on-one contest and best of three for approximately 1 minute. Now, breakers are scored by a panel of 9 judges based on 5 categories, which is musicality, vocabulary, originality, technique, and execution. Now, breaking will debut at the Lawn Concord, I think I said that right, on August 9th for the B girls and August 10th for the B boys. And you know what? For me, I'll say You know, breaking is the most valued, undervalued resource. You know, it takes like decades to master, and that's just even the basics. You know what I mean? That's just scratching the surface. And the level of performance, the flow, the athleticism, the artistry is truly unmatched. And cultural language on the platform of a sport will inspire so many people, in my opinion, and change the paradigm. You just hold on to your seat and wait for that. Now check this out. Nigerian boxer Cynthia Ogunse Milore. I know I probably botched that up, but I'm sorry. That is a hard last name to pronounce. Anyhow, she's out of the Paris Olympics after a failed drug test. Now, she's been, I guess you could say, suspended for violating the anti-doping rule. Now, a sample collected from the boxer has returned as an adverse analytic finding, for the specified prohibited substance formosacide, basically Lasix. Okay, and um, furosemide is classified as a diuretic and masking agent by the World Anti-Doping Agency, which basically we call WADA. And I have my feelings about Lasix. Some people use it to make weight. Um, and then there are some people who misuse it. Nonetheless, it is a rule, and the rule was broken, and then people are, up in arms. They are mad. They are pissed off because this happened. But at the same time, boxers are given the rules and what you can and cannot take. And unfortunately for her, that disqualified her. So the sample was collected in Paris on Thursday, a day before the Olympics opening ceremony, and reported by WADA accredited laboratory on Saturday. That's unfortunate, but hey, sometimes lessons have to be learned in the most difficult manner. So perhaps next year, for whatever reason, she needed to do it. Like I said, some boxers do it to make weight. Perhaps, that won't happen again. South Sudan is the youngest country in the world, and they won their first ever Olympic basketball game. Now, there's a lot to be said about these young men and the nature of their country and how they play as opposed to their opponents, in America. So, South Sudan officially declared their independence after decades of civil war just 13 years ago. Still, despite being the youngest country in the world, they're showing up in big ways, playing in the first Olympics ever, qualifying as Africa's top finisher in the World Cup last year. Now, as the Paris Olympics kicked off this weekend, South Sudan athletes ensured that they would not be forgotten, securing the country's first ever Olympic basketball game victory against Puerto Rico. Now, fans cheered and waved the nation's flag as players came to basically show out. They came up, they came to play, and they basically are saying that we are here. Don't count us out. We are here and we are serious, and we go through a lot more to train, a lot more to um, be prepared for, the Olympics. This is a huge platform. So some of the players got together and did an interview, and they're basically saying, to sum it up, that they're not a secret anymore. And that's what their coach, Ivy, said after the Olympic victory. South Sudan won 90-79 and are set to play against Team USA, which is coming up later this week. I believe it's Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. So for more context on this team, is very interesting. Now, Luau Deng has been funding South Sudan basketball out of his own pocket for the last 4 years. And he was quoted to be saying, "We don't have the pleasure of having a gymnasium. They don't have dorms and other facilities." Now, Luau Deng has been funding this thing for years out of his own pocket. That's, listen, we hear about celebrities and some of the things that they have done. Hats off to them. Athletes, okay? Even if you're not an athlete or you're not a celebrity, people who just take the time to donate either their time or money, that's a huge selfless act. Now, he pays for gyms, hotels, plane tickets, just about everything that team needs. The team said kudos to Luau and the staff. Now, we wouldn't have been able to put this team together without the help of he and other supporters. And they just think about it, they don't have a gym. They don't have proper sleeping quarters for them to actually go and get proper rest and play. So they're already playing against something to show up to play against other teams. I mean, it can't get much more humble and rewarding just to even be at the Olympics, than that. So shout out to um, South Sudan for, showing up and showing out. Now let's ask this question. How much do you think Olympic athletes get paid for winning their medals? Because I thought they got paid a lot more than what I'm reading. So let's go through this. USA, for the gold medal, ready? Okay. They win a whopping $37,500. Germany wins $21,900. France, $71,200. Italy, ready for this one? $197, $197,000, excuse me. That's almost $200,000. Norway, zero. Thank you for coming. Kazakhstan, I'm probably saying that wrong. They get a 3-room apartment. Singapore, $737,000. Taiwan, $716,000. And Spain receives $102,000. Now, some people say that the U.S. is on the lower side because they spend more money to prepare. So they don't pay out as much. I mean, okay. Let's just say two things can be true. That can be true, but at the same time, it costs money to get there. That's you paying for your family to come and see you play. If that's the case, you are paying for travel. You're paying for things, right? 37 and some change, 37 and a nickel, I believe. That the 3-room apartment. I'm interested to understand how that works exactly. Is it yours to keep forever, or is it just for a year? Is it 6 months? Like, what's the stipulations behind that? And it probably is a reason for that. In the absence of money, I believe that perhaps that is more important to that particular region. Housing. Not sure. It's interesting. Italian boxer Angela Carini. She quits just 46 seconds into the Olympic match. Now, she says her Algerian opponent failed the unspecified gender eligibility test. She says, I have never felt a punch like this, and stopped to protect her own health. Now, listen to this. This gets real interesting. She said that when she was hit by this young lady, it felt like her chest just was on fire and caved in. It didn't feel as though she had been like she was when she was sparring against other female boxers. Now, Iman, I believe that's how you say it, was previously barred from the 2023 World Championships after failing a gender eligibility test. Now, after taking a series of powerful jabs, Angela raised her hand in all seriousness to stop the fight. She told her coach that she was unable to continue. Now, she said, she's too strong. I cannot do this. She broke down in tears while being questioned by reporters. She apologized to her country for only making it 46 seconds. She says she's worked very hard for that moment and was disappointed that she ended it so quickly. Now, prior to the fight, here's some more information. Italian officials publicly questioned the fairness of the IOC allowing Iman Khalif, I hope I'm saying that right, to fight. Now, many people pressured Angela not to go through with the fight, but her coach, Emmanuel Rossini, told her, don't go, don't go, please don't go. She's a man. It's dangerous for you. Now, a boxing organization ruled that Iman had an quote unquote elevated testosterone level, according to reports obtained by TMZ. Now, she has XY chromosomes, whereas women typically have two X chromosomes. Now, what does that sound like to y'all? Mm-hmm. Yep. That's a man. She was in there fighting a man. And, you know, shame on the IOC for even letting this fight happen. Okay. And this is gonna go very deep down the rabbit hole of gender equality and can transgenders play in sports of the opposite sex just because they seem to classify themselves as that. And this is the problem. And I say this very cautiously. You can choose whatever you like. Personally, that feels good to you, in my opinion. If you are born a man and you feel like you're a woman, then far be it from me or far be it from anybody else to tell you how you personally feel. But when that then turns into you putting that onto someone else, meaning you want to enter a woman's league because you feel like you're a woman, but your body structure, your muscle mass, your strength is that of who you are, which is a 6'7" man, 250 pounds of muscle. That's now not an even playing field at all. And I know we had talked about this with the women's college basketball and how they were talking about allowing transgender athletes to play in, on the women's teams. And, like I said, this isn't about your sexuality. This isn't about who you think you are, who you feel that you want to be. This is about safety and fairness. And there is no reason why that young lady needed to only box for 46 seconds and feel like her whole entire body was falling apart, when she was hit. That just that has to hurt. You know what I mean? That literally has to just take all the momentum out of you and all of the preparation and the long nights and long days that it took you to get to the Olympics. And the IOC just didn't make the right call, in my opinion. Jump in the chat. Let me know what you think about that. Bron and KD are the first duo to each have 20 points in the opening game at Olympics in USA men's basketball history. Now, LeBron had 21 points, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists. KD had 23 points, 8 of 9 field goals, and 5 of 5 three-pointers. Now, Bron said to have KD on my side is a treat for sure with their W against Serbia. And shout out to them for showing up and getting the job done. But that leads into this other conversation with Jason Tatum because he was not playing. Yeah, he had 0 minutes. He had 18 Gatorade assists, 12 towel passes, and 5 seat changes. And the internet went bonkers because, oh, yeah, he was supposed to be on the court per some people. Steve Kerr said, I felt like an idiot not playing him. And he went further into it to explain why. And for lack of all of that conversation, I just feel like the media and excuse me, fans need to understand one simple thing here, that these are the best players that the US has to offer. Now, it's based on matchups, in my opinion, not star power. Not everyone's going to play, you guys. Nobody's saying Tatum shouldn't play, but KD literally made almost every shot he took, and LeBron was doing LeBron. They won the game. But you have an all-star cast. Everybody will not get minutes. Now, I feel in the next game, um, I believe that they're going to play South Sudan on Tuesday. I believe he'll put Tatum in for that. But I do think that he probably needs to sit and beat down. I feel that in my spirit. I think he needs to sit and beat down for just a little while because I don't know if he's doing the best, in my opinion, right now during the Olympics. I mean, you guys jump down in the chat and let me know what you think about Embiid's performance. But I personally think Tatum will play and Embiid will be on the bench. Your AI sidekick has arrived. That's right. Turn off the bat signal because Blaze is here to save the day. Blaze is an AI sidekick for overwhelmed teams of one just like you. Brainstorm and outline content ideas with AI. Go from idea to on-brand content in minutes. Turn a blog post into 10 plus asset types, ads, social posts, emails, and more. Collaborate with colleagues in real time and get content approved. Go to drT23.site. That is DRT23.site. Navigate to Blaze and download today. NFL season is around the corner. Lots of chatter leading up to the preseason. So let's start here. All right. Jordan Love is now the highest paid QB in football. Yep. Jordan Love and the Packers have agreed to a 4-year, $220 million contract that makes him the highest paid QB in NFL history. Now he also gets a record 75 million. Listen, 75 million signing bonus. Plus, I'm not done. 155 million in new full guarantees. Now, the internet went bananas. But here's the thing: once that contract came out, think about it. Before Jordan Love, we had the conversation about Kirk Cousins being the highest paid and only, at best, a good regular season QB. Now we jump over to Jordan Love, and what has he done? Some people may say, okay, let's not hear anything about him being overpaid because he's the future of Green Bay. Now, that could be true. But what has he done to warrant a contract of that nature? We saw what they did last year, but that was just last year. Now they could be trying to set themselves up, but then here you're talking, listening to a Cleveland Brown fan who has Deshaun Watson. See what I'm saying here? it it's almost like a ping pong. I get the most money. Nope. I got the most money. No, you get the money. Nope. We got the money. It's just whoever the market resets every 30 days at this point. And for what? What reason? Because you have the money to throw around? No. No, I'm it's old now. It's not even anything to be in awe of or like, oh my God, this person got that and that person got this. It's just like, okay, all right. So what else is going on at this point? But he walks away right now as the highest paid QB in NFL history. So obviously, right? We want to take a look at something now. Again, you guys know that I am not a fan of all these lists that come out. But hey, they're out and let's discuss them. What do we have again, y'all? Yes, we have another list. Like it's like the Undertaker's coming. Another list. But here we go. All right. So let's take a look at the highest paid QBs and their average per year. All right. So at the top, we got Trevor Lawrence at 55 million a year. Under him is now Jordan Love. And then we got Burrow at 55. So you got Lawrence, Love, and Burrow all at 55. Now let's go to Tua and Golf. Well, actually, Tua is at 53.1 million a year. And then Golf, he's at 53 million a year. So they're in that 53 neighborhood. And then you got Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson. They're in the 52 million category, with Herbert being at 52.5 and Lamar Jackson at 52. And you get to Jalen Hurts, who's at 51 million. And you have Murray and Deshaun Watson sitting at 46, Murray at 46.1, and then you have Deshaun at 46 million for what? Deshaun, what have you done? Okay, to like all the picks we gave up, all the money that we're paying you. I mean, moving along, Patrick Mahomes and Cousins are sitting at 45 million a year. Josh Allen is at 43 million a year. Daniel Jones, Dak Prescott, and Matthew Stafford are all at 40 million a year. All right, so here we go, right? We know that the Cowboys are on the clock with Dak Prescott. So what do you guys think is going to happen? Do you think that Stephen Jones is going to come up off some money and pay Dak to be their future QB, or are they going to keep with this standoff and let him play out his year and have him go somewhere else the next year? Because what I see is that the next person up is going to reset the market again. And here we go in another 30 days or during preseason, we're going to be talking about what? Oh, this person is now the highest paid. It's like, come on, guys. After a while, these conversations get completely old. And I, for one, I get tired of hearing about it all the time. Dan Orlovsky. Yep, Dan Orlovsky. He runs, the one that ran straight through the end zone and just kept going. Okay, I'm gonna leave him alone. But anyway, he has a lot on his mind about the Cowboys. He has some words, so let's take a listen to what he had to say.
Put the Cowboys at 8th in the conference right now, out of the playoff.
With him.
With him on the team. He's on the football
team.
They're
the 8th best team.
8th best team.
Wow.
If he's not on the football team, I'd have him as bottom 3 in the conference because of some of the departures. Here's the truth about the Cowboys. They're content on mediocrity. They'd rather be relevant than remembered. If I asked all you guys, and by now we should know the answer, Where do the Dallas Cowboys rank in cash spent this offseason? Where are they in the NFL?
Yeah, at the very bottom.
Okay, where are they in cash spent for next year, projected wise, in the NFL?
The very bottom. They don't spend money.
Last, where are they in 2026 cash spent? Ranked last. They don't want to spend money right now. The Cowboys, who are the most valued organization in all of North American sports, are the cheapest organization as of now in all of North American sports.
He had a lot to say, y'all. He had a whole mouthful to say. But here's the thing. Do you agree with Orlovsky? Now, look at what's going on with the Cowboys, right? We have Dak is on the clock, and we got CD on the clock, and no movement. Now, CD had not been showing up to practice. And then you have Stephen Jones, and he's saying, oh, we sent new offers out. But here's the thing. Do you, without a CD, get to where you have been? Do you? Do you get that far? Who else do you have? You see what I mean? So if we're talking about wide receivers and who needs to be paid, pay the man. Pay him. Or guess what? He's going to walk. And, I believe that Orlovsky has a point. You know what I mean? They're the highest, most valued organization in the world, if you want to talk about it, in the world. But they're the cheapest. There's no reason. Why didn't you just pay them? The season is almost starting, and they still haven't gotten paid. They have no money. They have not gotten paid yet. Jump down in the chat and let me know what you think about those Cowboys and Steven. Like, I really feel like right now, honestly, that it's literally time for Jerry Jones to just say, you know what? I'm 80 something. Don't know exactly his age, but I'm in my 80s. And I have a very profitable team. It is time for me to move it along. But you know he's not going to do that at all. So we leave it up to Stephen Jones. And what is he going to do actually? What is Stephen Jones going to do differently than what his dad does? Because he really is the one that's doing all of the talking. He's the one that's negotiating alongside his dad. So I want to know, and let me know what you think. Do you think if Jerry Jones steps aside that we have a different outcome as far as paying the players in Dallas and getting them over this 30-year slump that they've been in? Because let me tell you one thing for certain, two things is for sure. People are going to talk about the Cowboys, number one, and the next thing that is true, they are not going to win a thing. You see where I'm going with this? Jump in that chat. Let me know exactly what you think about that. And here we go. I promise you, this has been the week for lists. Like, I already have short hair. I'm going to just pull it out. We have lists all over the place. Now there's a list that came out about the number of contracts that QBs have gotten since the 2020 draft. Yes, y'all, another list. We are going to die on this hill of lists. But here we go. So, quarterbacks have tallied up a grand total of $1.25 billion since the 2020 draft. Let's take a look at this because I have a little bit to say about it. Now, we have Burrow, 5 years, $275 million. Tua, 4 years, $212.4 million. Herbert, 5 years, $262.5 million. Jordan Love, 4 years, $220 million. Jalen Hurts, 5 years, $255 million. Which one of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 QBs have brought home a chip. I'm going to give you a few seconds. None of them. None of the 5. $1.25 billion? Not a chip between one of them since 2020. So let me ask this question. Feel free, jump in the chat, jump in the comments, let me know. Which one of these QBs do you think will be the first one to, out of this class, get the chip? I'm curious. Because I don't know. Joe, let's look at it, okay, for a second. All right. Burrow hurt. Tua can't, he acts like he can't play anywhere other than the southern region of the United States. Okay. Put him in the cold, everything. It just doesn't work for him. Justin Herbert, okay, what happened? He bit the thumb or something, came disconnected, and it's just been nothing. Not that he's not good, but it's flat. Jordan Love, nothing. He was up under ayahuasca and he went to the Jets. Okay. So he just came out last year and made a little bit of noise. Still waiting to see what he can do in the long term. Jalen Hurts, I don't know what happened. I don't know if he was going through something last year or whatever the case may be. Wasn't the same person that we saw the year before. So who do you think? Because I don't know out of this list right here. I don't have an answer at all. All right. Lawrence Taylor. Okay. Lawrence Taylor. Now, you know that if you get into some mess, it is your responsibility to be sure that you are compliant in all areas of that mess. And what am I talking about? Okay, so he was arrested in Florida this past Wednesday for failing to report residence change as a sex offender. Now, LT, you know good and well that you are supposed to be reporting. Why? Because you chose to do what you did. And guess what comes along with that? Being compliant, letting people know where your nasty behind is living so that people know that you are in the neighborhood. More importantly, so the police know. Now, some people are saying, oh, he paid his dues. We shouldn't be hard on him like that. And we are no. We are not going to salt and pepper and pick and choose who gets it and who doesn't. Because if you are a sex offender, if you are a pedophile, if you are anything in that realm, you need to be reporting. Okay? It doesn't make you any different than the person who is not a celebrity, who's not an athlete, who's just a Joe Schmo, who's just as weird as you. So, okay, LT, you needed to be reported. And so if you didn't, you need to be in jail. Period. It burns my britches sometimes, grinds my gears when people just feel like they don't have to do. And then guess what? When the consequences come, then what? You have people who want to justify. No, he needed to be reported. And if he didn't report, then go have a bologna and cheese sandwich in that jail cell until you get your paperwork right and they let you go home. Let's jump over into the NBA. Now, Tyus Jones joins West Coast contender with a significant need at point guard, giving him a chance to impact and return to a more financially flush market next summer. Now, a sizable, he's going to the Phoenix Suns, and a sizable addition as such. Now, Jones had an assist to turnover ratio of 7.35 last season, the highest of any player in a season since individual turnovers were first tracked between 1977 and 1978. Now, in that span, excuse me, Jones has had three of the highest marks in the season at 7.04 and 21 and 22, and then 6.96 in 18. And he was quoted by saying, "The chance to play for the Phoenix Suns made the most sense on a lot of levels to me and his family." Now, beginning with the way Matt Ishaba, I can never say his name, and the front office recruited me, to how Coach Mike Budenholzer showed me how I can significantly impact a team that has a real opportunity to challenge for an NBA title as their starting point guard. So he's excited to be joining the Phoenix Suns, and they need size. They definitely need size because it's some bigs out there, and they are not playing with their backs to the basket. So they needed to get some size to, get in contention for a title. Now, speaking of the Suns, you have James Posey. He's joining the Suns as an assistant coach. Now, he had a 12-year NBA playing career, and he has had coaching stops, I believe, with the Wizards and my Cavaliers. So that should be a good addition to their coaching staff, and see if we can actually get the Suns over the hump. Because let me tell you, to go out 4-0 last year to the Timberwolves, you let Ant-Man and his folks come in there and cat walk all over top of your head. You can't do that. You can't do that. And KD, how you are playing right now overseas in Paris for this Olympics, I'm gonna need you to do that, brother, when you get back into the Valley of the Sun. Okay, good brother? Need you to go ahead and take that game that you're playing right now and bring that back with you when you come stateside. Okay, I just wanted to go ahead and let that get on out there. Now, Paul Pierce, okay, had some thoughts on the Dream Team and how they would basically fall on their faces to this new quote unquote Avengers team. Well, let's see what he had to say.
First of all, you had Larry Bird couldn't play no more. And I love Larry. No, he was done. He was done. Yeah. Magic wasn't done, though, Paul. He was done. Who's their best player, Skip? Michael Jordan, clearly. No, clearly, young Jordan. Yeah, that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. Yeah, that is saying a lot. 29. But he wasn't even their best player in the Olympics.
Now, talking about Jordan is going to make Skip
this
mad.
Year would dominate that team. Like, who's going to guard LeBron? First of all, the style of play would have been too much for this Dream Team. They couldn't shoot the three. And then you want to talk that who they had down low. You had David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, and Charles Barkley. We can counter that with Embiid, AD, and Bam. I mean, pretty formidable defensive lineup against them. Who's going to guard LeBron? Charles Barkley? Scottie Pippen. Okay, Scottie Pippen. Okay, who's going to guard Steph Curry? John Stockton? He didn't play very much. Well, Michael Jordan going to run? You know what? Michael might take that. All right, so now, who got Kevin Durant, the X factor in all of this? I just think the style of play. There's just too many different matchups that they just can't. Jordan can't guard everybody.
So that led to some deep conversation, especially on Instagram on Undisputed's page, and people took Paul through ringer for his thoughts. Now, if you look at a lot of the matchups in his conversation and what he's saying. I'm thinking this, and this is just my opinion. And the chat is always open and the comments. So please get down there and discuss this. But here's my thought. Now you got the bigs on the dream team, right? Let's look at them. It was Ewing, Robinson, Karl Malone, and Barkley. Embiid, okay? Follow me now. AD and Bam would foul out easily. Easily. And, to some people, Paul was spot on. To others, they're like, this is exactly, why he doesn't need to be a comment. I don't think that I would go that far and to say, well, he doesn't need to be on TV or have a platform or whatever, because people are going to be entitled to their own opinions. I personally think it's two different styles of play. Okay. Right now, we're dealing with a league that is shoot your eyes out from every aspect of the court. I mean, listen, you got Embiid shooting threes. AD is in Paris shooting threes and styling like that's what he's supposed to be doing. Bam, shooting threes. So it's a different style of play. When you look at Ewing back to the basket, Robinson back to the basket, the mailman back to the basket, Barkley back to the basket, these guys were actually playing defense. Where's defense right now? Where's defense? Okay. All right. I just wanted to see if we are all on the same page. I don't see defense right now. So I just think in his argument, it's two different styles of play. Two totally different styles of play. Jump down in the chat. Let me know what you think. Listen, Showtime. Shohei Ohtani shows out again. Again, it's like this man cannot be stopped. I think he's at 30 home runs right now. 30. Listen, I want y'all to listen to this ball crack that he hit and listen to how far he hit it. Check this out.
Ohtani, right field, forget about it. A massive shot. Wow. 473 feet.
Insane. You hear me? He's an enigma on his own. Who is like right now, currently, hands down, he walks up there. It's just like a finesse of somebody hitting a golf stroke. That's how easy he's over 437 feet. That ball was going at almost 100 miles. I mean, come on now, the speed of that pitch, and as far as he hit it, he is showing out. And okay, some people want to take the credit away and say he shouldn't be playing because of all of the gambling scandal. Okay, but that has nothing to do with what's going on right now. Did you hear that ball cracked it and just sat the bat? He didn't even look to see if it was gone. Go watch the clip on YouTube. Okay, the man didn't even wait to see if it was gone. He knew it. By the sound of his bat to that ball, he walked basically the first, jogged the rest of the way. Didn't even stop to look and see if anybody was going to catch it. He said somebody in the parking lot across the street over there by where they having the tailgate at the hot dog truck. Just the little hot dog cart, they're going to catch that ball, and I'm just going to set my bat down and I'm going to go ahead and get these 3 bases and get to home. I'll let y'all deal with that. That's how confident that man was when he hit that ball. Crazy. And, for all of the stuff that he's been through and all of the things that people try to bring up negative to deter away from you know what he's actually doing, shame on you. Let the process work. Let's enjoy what this man is doing. If you are a fan of baseball, enjoy that, enjoy the sport. But to try to overshadow his accomplishments right now to what he has had to endure the past few months with all of this betting scandal, okay, if it comes out later, it comes out later. Are you tired of overpriced groceries and limited options at the supermarket? Because I know I am. Well, try Misfit Marketplace, where every box is packed with delicious organic produce at up to 40% off retail prices. That's right. You get your fresh fruits to colorful veggies. Misfit Marketplace delivers quality ingredients straight to your door. Visit misfitmarket.com and use code POD20, that is POD20, to get 20% off your first order, and tell them that Dr. T sent you. Eat well, save money, and join the Misfit movement today. All right, it is time for Gone Now. And let me tell you, I have it stacked up this week. Yes, I have had enough of the nonsense, of the shenanigans. And this week, it is some people who decided to do some cringe worthy activities and say some of the craziest things that you could even imagine out of their mouths. And I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to get started right here, right off the top, with Megan the Stallion. Miss Ma'am, you were to perform at a rally in Georgia for Kamala Harris. Okay. Let me just preface this with saying this isn't about who you're voting for. Trump, Kamala, Joe Schmo, whoever, in the partridge in the, it doesn't make a difference. This is not what this is about. This is about common sense and things that are just cringy and don't need to be done. Period. Know your audience and know your time and place. Now, she was invited to speak, and perform at Kamala Harris's. And here's the performance details, right? Now, she performed on a high energy set, including some of her, popular songs. However, the her quote is Harris, hotties for Harris. However it is that you want to get the young people's lingo to get them to vote should not have included you on stage twerking at all. It shouldn't have included your dancers trying to drop it like it's hot and pop them things in cardigans at a presidential rally. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. I mean, imagine this. Imagine representing a black woman at a presidential event. Okay. Y'all can argue about Kamala's ethnicity. Is she Indian? Is she black? Listen, her daddy is black from Jamaica. Her mom is Indian. She's black. All right, let's just get that out the way for all the particulars. And if you feel like having that conversation further, jump in the chat. We can definitely have it. However, that is not the point. The point is this: imagine being invited to that and representing a black woman at a presidential event, and your only instinct is your only instinct is to start twerking. You have got to be kidding me. You have I thought it was a joke. My IG DMs blowing up like crazy. Did you see that? Did you see that? Here's the video. Here's the. You have got. Are you serious? What? Oh no. We do not do that. And in some way, shape, form, or fashion, I know that in the process of her doing that, something I would hope, you guys, that something in her soul and in her spirit said, mid twerk, no, this isn't right. Oh no, but you kept going. You kept it going. Go on now, Megan. Go on. Leave that for your concerts. Leave that for your tours. Leave that for the music videos and the hotties and whatever. There's a time and place. You have a specific audience for that, and that's cool. Now, some people felt like it was okay. Some people actually said, I wish I could get down there and twerk and all of that stuff. But think about the presentation of what that represents, okay? Let's break this down. Black women are already looked in at a certain light. We are already looked as being ignorant. We are already looked as being uneducated. We are already looked at as being ghetto. And so with those uncharacteristic ideologies, because I don't believe in any of them, be it that I am a Black woman, very educated, I may say. We don't want to give them a reason to have a more in-depth conversation, to feel like what they are already saying about us is valid by doing that. And someone in your camp, in your PR, in if they exist, or maybe they thought that it was okay, should have told you, no, listen, it happened. We can't go back and undo it. But going forward, this is what we don't do. Tiffany Haddish. You know, I don't listen. Sometimes people have platforms, you guys. I have a podcast platform, and I do the best that I can to deliver the best content that I can every week. However, some people don't necessarily use their better judgment when jumping on a platform and expressing themselves. Here's what I mean. Tiffany Haddish, okay, took a trip over to Africa. And specifically, she went to Zimbabwe. All right. And for me, I found that she's always at the center of some controversy because she cannot stop running her mouth. I mean, we all know what she says. She ready. Okay, well, yeah, we know. She's always ready for something. And it ends up being an epic fail every single time she opens her mouth and tries to go in on certain topics. So listen, this is what she did. She visited Zimbabwe, and she specifically went to a supermarket to visit. And she couldn't believe that they actually had supermarkets in Africa. Yeah, I'll let that sit with y'all for a minute. She couldn't gather herself to believe that there was actually a fully stocked, fully functional with groceries that, oh my God, that's available to them in the supermarket, y'all. Just listen to what she's saying. I mean, just listen to this.
Sugar cane, and it is fire. They got the dates on deck. How much are these? $67. Wait a minute. The price is different. It do look like it's expensive. Look at this grocery store. It's huge. It's absolutely humongous. In Africa, baby. Yeah. Believe it.
No, I'm not gonna play the whole entire clip because it just kept going on and on and on and on. And for me, it brings up a couple of feelings, be it that my family, excuse me, on both sides, my father, South African, and my mother's side, Nigerian. Although we're in America, that's my roots, okay? Go to African Ancestry if you want to know what your African ancestry is. And, I've dug deep, deep, deep. But it brings some feelings to myself. Imagine this. You are in another entire country. And you are so blinded and jaded by what you have been fed in America that you don't even think that these people have toothpaste, toothbrushes, fruits, vegetables, meats, produce, milk, juice, water, plates. She further along in the video goes in probably another whole 2 minutes later and was astounded that they actually had silverware in the store, plates, cups, deodorant, shampoo, lotion. You have got to be kidding me. It makes Americans, and it's specifically Black Americans, because you are a Black woman over. And here's the thing, she's Eritrean. Her father is from Eritrea. So you, more than anybody, should know. You specifically wore your Eritrean outfit to one of the award shows so that you can be proud of your culture. And then you turn around and do that. When I tell you that the diaspora of Africa showed no mercy on her, and I didn't even feel bad about it. This is what she had to say. She said, I am an American, a Black one at that, and was told for years that people are starving in Africa, and showed pictures, you guys are ready for this, with babies with flies on them. The comedian further elaborated that she had been told crazy stories about constant warfare in Africa, and that her trip to Zimbabwe had opened her eyes to the truth. I thought I would share it because I know people in the U.S. believe that Africans don't have anything. That is not the pretense of your video, ma'am. That is not the context in which you were speaking in your video. Now, to me, it seems like an incident like this will reignite the discussions about the importance of cultural awareness. It also has highlighted the responsibility of public figures to educate themselves before making broad statements about other countries and cultures. And, like I said, despite her Eritrean heritage, she just completely displayed a lack of knowledge about the diversity and development across the entire African continent. And be clear to those people who continue to call Africa a country, it is not. Africa is a continent. Okay? It's a continent. Now, listen, how would you feel if you were in mid game baseball and you find out during the game that you've been traded during the game? Well, yep, it's not just something that could happen. This actually did happen. Now, Christopher Morrow was traded to the Rays in the middle of a Cubs game against the Royals. He found out in the dugout and had to immediately leave in the middle of the game. In the middle of the game. That is, how can I put this? That has to be one of the most unprofessional things that I've ever seen, to trade a player in the middle of a game, y'all. Jump in the chat. Let me know what you think about that. I'm going to finish off. Gone now. Okay? To the Cubs. Gone. Gone now. Y'all could have did better than that. Definitely Tiffany Haddish. Gone now. Go take several seats. You have been in so much turmoil because of your mouth and lack of education around certain things, I think you need to take a break. Sit back, read a couple of books, get educated on a few things, and then speak on topics going forward, because it has not worked in your favor so far. Um, I'm a person of cleanliness, okay? I like to be clean, top to bottom, all right? And everywhere in between. That's what my grandma used to say. You need to be clean from top to bottom and everywhere in between. And when you came in her house, what you do not sit on my bed in your outside clothes. Go take them clothes off. Go get in the bath. Get cleaned up. Put on some play clothes and go on now. Okay? And stop running in and out my door, running out my air. Okay? That being said, we have some nastiness going on. Okay? I'm talking about nasty. And this is why I say athletes and celebrities are just regular folks. Let's look at this. Now, Mac Hollins, to me, he's always been a little odd. But this right here is just, it takes the cake, okay? So did you know that the wide receiver, one, doesn't wear shoes? Okay? He doesn't believe in using eating utensils when he eats. That's fine, because in certain cultures that happens. But the latter part of it is you don't like to wash your hands after you eat. You okay? All right. Along the lines of that, he says he hasn't eaten vegetables or fruits in 3 years. This is what he said, y'all. I think shoes are a tool, and people have made them part of their body. Let's stop right there. Sir, what do you mean? We have made them a part of our body. It is a part of what you need to be putting on when you're exiting your home. When you are walking around on the naked floor, put some socks on, put some shoes on, or whatever shoes that you wear in your home or whatever. We've made it a part of our body. I'll continue. He said this, like, I wouldn't walk around with a hammer just because I might need a hammer sometimes. Okay. Mac, I'm gonna need you to put some shoes on, brother. Okay. Put some shoes on, good brother, because the amount of germs that your feet are picking up when you're walking around with no shoes on, and then you're walking that in your home, in the locker room. I mean, I'm kind of glad you play football, because you have to have cleats on. But what's going on in them cleats? What type of little microorganisms is on the bottom of your feet that you don't want to walk around with shoes on? Matter of fact, I feel like the smell would be even worse. And then on top of that, you're not eating any fruits or vegetables. What's going on inside of all of that? Go on now. Put some shoes on your feet. That's nasty. Okay? And what is the hammer? I wouldn't walk around with a hammer because I just might need a hammer. Are you dumb? Listen, I am sick of people trying to take mess and make it make sense. That does not make any sense no more than you not having those shoes on, those funky toes of yours. Put some shoes on and go on now. That is enough, okay, of the nonsense. Stop trying to make your crazy make sense to everybody else, Okay. And then you get mad because people are in the comments and they're saying that's not clean. That is unsanitary and this, that, and the other. Okay, fine. If that's what you do, then do that. But don't come at people all in the comments and saying, like, okay, well, we've just made it a part of our bodies. Really? Really? So let's just say you have a game and you're playing in Phoenix. It is 109 degrees. So you just gonna walk around the city if you got a game with no shoes on, feet but melted, stuck to the concrete. Are you kidding me? Nasty. Gone now, because nobody wants to hear that. And furthermore, why did you even feel that you needed to share that information? Mac, put some shoes on, okay? This is Dr. T over here at A Win is a Win. Go put some shoes on your feet, okay? All right. And in the meantime, go on now and stay away from people. And please, I hope you wash your feet. That's going to do it for this week's episode of A Win is a Win. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast. And don't forget to tell somebody else to join A Win is a Win. And listen, go ahead and hit that notification bell so that you know when a new episode drops. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. I know. All right. It's a little bit of a commitment, right? But I can't grow unless you do it. And guess what? I'm also not asking you for a dime. So go ahead and hit that notification bell so that you know when a new episode drops. You can catch us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. You can also catch us on Audible, and I'll catch you next week.